Shame on all of you for coming after us for being late. Shame on all of you. That is not fair. And if we told you why we were late, you'd be excited. But you know what? It's fine. I'm not going to say anything. Andy, I'm pointing at you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to A Certain Point of View. Welcome back to the show. It is our weekly live show here on the channel. Every Monday, 6 o'clock Pacific. If you're joining us for the very first time, hope everyone is doing great out there. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving weekend. If you did celebrate it, as you can see, it's already Christmas time here on the channel. I was pretty much hounded into doing this. I'll just say that.
Okay, that's not true.
It was a 3-1 fight. There was a 3-1 fight, and they pretty much argued their way through the screens to make sure it happened.
I'm pretty sure today was like the first day in a couple
days. Letting you all know right now that is, I was pretty much, chained saying, "Hey, I need Grogu in my corner on this one." Just here we go.
Well, yes, that's true.
But I'm sure Jill wouldn't have requested stockings, but it is what it is. But let's see how everybody was doing over the weekend. Jill, I'll start with you. How was your holiday weekend?
Good. Busy. Mad today was Monday, but it was good. I had 2 Thanksgivings. We did my family on Thanksgiving and then Sean's family on Friday. So I ate a lot. Yeah. I was happy at the time that I was eating a lot. And now I'm not so happy.
Brian, read the comment. Pay attention to the screen.
Fair enough. I was literally about to like his tweet, and now I'm not.
Oh, shade.
Show, Brian. Yeah, I'm Tweeter. We're on a show, damn it.
I was actually retweeting our live.
Clearly weren't listening to what was Jill saying just now, Brian?
Jill was talking about how she went to Thanksgiving and she's full, and yeah.
The most generic answer.
And yeah.
Wasn't it at Sean's? You went to both of them?
Uh-huh. And
yeah. You ate a lot. You're full.
Absolutely blasted. I
was coming up with a clever quote tweet thing.
What were you trying to come up with?
I said, talking cults tonight. Totally normal for us.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little jarring seeing Keith Raniere's face on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I hate it.
Know. It makes
I gotta do something to pique the viewers.
Do not want.
I gotta do it.
Well,
I mean, what else could I have done? Huh?
I mean,
yes, that's true.
It's fair.
How many good people are in this thing? Come on now. Yeah, exactly. Brian, what about you? How was your weekend?
I did nothing but play Pokemon.
Woo!
And continue to do.
Woohoo! How's the Pokemans?
So you're liking it?
I mean, I'm never gonna not. They'd have to screw up pretty hard to not.
Well, you gave it a pretty bad review last week. That's why I'm saying
I mean, it's not my favorite one, but it's still a game that I get to play that I enjoy playing. So, yeah. I just discovered the secret trade or surprise trade thing where it just randomly finds someone around the world and you just trade. And I've been sending out some good people and I'm getting shitters back.
What do you think, Brian? People are going to give their good ish. They're going to give you like a freaking Caterpie.
Yeah. So it's, Although Sean and I were talking about it for a couple hours last night. He's going to
I know. Thanks. Now he bought the game. I appreciate it.
And I made sure that he got the opposite one so we can trade our...
yeah. I walked in on him playing it, and the first thing he said
he's already playing it.
Oh, yeah. The first thing he said was, these graphics are terrible. And I was like...
I told you.
Well, yeah. We talked about this.
He asked me which one, what are the starters? I said a green cat, a gay duck, and a little baby dinosaur. And he pointed out to me that the little baby dinosaur is actually a bell pepper.
It's
and
a pepper.
I did not know that.
Oh,
he's a pepper.
Brian, all ducks are gay. Fun fact.
That's fair.
Oh.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, this one turns into a flamboyant peacock, so it's
caw.
Yeah, and it runs around like this. Literally, it runs around with its hands up like this. It's pretty funny.
Love him for that.
Yeah.
Stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning.
And Molly, how was yours?
It was pretty good. We did something similar to Jill. We did Alex's parents' house on Thanksgiving Day, and then we went to see my mom and my sister that Friday. And we've just been still pretty busy. It's finally starting to slow down. We're getting a bunch of stuff pre-recorded and ready to go for the channel because we're about to go on a week-long vacation. Thank God. I'm ready to go. I'm already checked out. Been checked
No,
out.
that's awesome. That is awesome.
Hype for y'all.
All right, so let's talk about a little bit. So we're gonna be talking about The Vow here in just a little while. If you do not know what The Vow is, it is the HBO documentary on everything NXIVM, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. NXIVM, excuse me. It was the one that was pretty much made famous by the ex-Smallville actress Allison Mack, and it was ran by Keith Raniere and Raniere, whatever.
Did you
even watch
it? Same thing, people. And we're going to be talking about The Vow here in just a little while. Obviously, there are 2 seasons in the book. I've only seen season 1. These 3 have seen season 1 and 2. So we'll kind of be getting into some spoiler stuff if you have not watched it. But again, because it's a documentary, you may already know the real story. So stick around for that. But we're going to be talking about Chris Hemsworth to start. It was kind of shaken up a little bit last week, over the last 2 weeks, of the recent news of Chris Hemsworth and some medical stuff that had come out about him recently. So if you have not watched it yet, he has a documentary series on Disney Plus right now called Limitless, where he is pretty much pushing his body to the test. He is doing all these kinds of different tests with experts, and from jumping into freezing cold water to doing something like what we're going to talk about tonight, and that is that he has a very high possibility, and they said 8 to 10 times higher of a chance of getting Alzheimer's, because he has 2 genes, one from his mother, one from his father. And that has resulted in him starting to take a step back a little bit from acting, and spend some more time with his family back home, not filming as much. Obviously, he's most well known for playing Thor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he also does a lot of movies and stuff on the side as well. I just watched a movie with his wife, by the way, on Netflix, and he did a very small part in that movie just because it was her movie.
No.
He's all over the place doing stuff. But we just want to take the time to talk about it. Not just Alzheimer's in general, but him stepping back and kind of what it means, and possibility for a lot of other people, and what this test could do for many other people. Jill, you did bring it up in the chat, so I want to give you the floor first. What are your kind of instant thoughts on all of this?
I mean, when I first heard about it, I was crushed. I mean, no one wants to hear that they could potentially have something like Alzheimer's. But I do admire his bravery in having that moment documented, and him really putting that out there, saying like, hey, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, and kind of bringing light to the fact that you can get tested for this. I didn't know you could. I thought it was something that they still hadn't figured out. So I was clueless to the fact that they had even found a gene that's connective to Alzheimer's. So I found that super courageous. I admire his choice to step back from acting and to really spend a lot of time with his family. Because while he does have those 2 prominent genes, it's not 100% guarantee that he will have Alzheimer's. But like Jake said, there is an 8 to 10 times more likely probability that he will. So the fact that he really wants to focus on spending time with his family, I really admired that, because I think I don't know a lot about Alzheimer's, but from what I know is that you can start, like, it can start affecting you at age like 40.
It's very, very early.
And you don't even, very early. Yeah, and you don't even like realize it, and that by the time you realize it, it's too late to really do anything about it. So yeah, I really like how it's really brought light to, like, I imagine it kind of like the ice bucket challenge, kind of how that brought a lot of like eyes focused on was it MLS?
Yeah.
ALS, thank you. ALS. And because of because of that, I think they've got a cure or something to helping ALS, because of like everyone knew about it and the donations and all that stuff. So I feel like this might really bring a lot of attention to Alzheimer's, which has always been just a disease people have known about. But now that especially that it's affecting someone like Chris Hemsworth, that maybe we can really find an all-in cure for it. So I just admire him for coming out with it.
And just to preface real quick, he doesn't have it at the moment.
No.
For those who are watching it may not know what we're talking about. He doesn't have it. What was said is he has a genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's, and the makeup that they did a test on, it includes 2 copies of the gene APOE4, which studies for the last however many years have linked to an increased risk of Alzheimer's. So he just has a higher chance than at least what we know, like any of us having it, because those 2 genes, or those 2 copies of the genes, excuse me.
I think my 23andMe tells me.
They might. But whatever test he did, I would imagine maybe a little bit stronger, because he is going obviously experts on what he is doing. And they said 8 to 10 times higher than what the normal person may have for the disease. Which, that can obviously make you rethink things on how you want to spend, your days. And he's obviously been playing Thor for a very, very long time. And he's been doing a lot of movies, and they live in Australia. So that takes him here stateside. And his kids are not older. They're still young. So they're still doing a lot of things. And his wife is also an actress. And it takes priorities to a whole different level. Alzheimer's runs in my family, not heavily, but a couple people who I have, like my great grandfather had it, who was the last person in my family who had it, and it ran it down pretty quickly. It was pretty hard to see, and forgetting people's names or who they are and stuff. It's not something that's very pretty. And he was someone who pretty much raised my dad as basically a father, and so it was very hard to see him in the hospital, not remembering people or things that had just happened and stuff like that. So it's a disease that you should definitely take serious. Like, if there's a way for you to get checked out, check out, just because, like Jill said, you can get it very early on. It's not something that happens at 60, 70 years old. It's something that can hit you pretty quickly. And, something that you may not even recognize. Like, if you think you're just forgetting something, it may be something more than just forgetting something. So yeah, it's a bummer, but I also respect the hell out of him being like, no, I need to step back, and I need to do less and spend some more time with my kids or my family or whatever it is that he has to do. And obviously I'm going to miss seeing some of his stuff. Not like he's going to be gone forever or whatever, but I really enjoy Chris Hemsworth. I'm just one of those people who really, really enjoy him.
He seems very sweet.
Yeah, and whether he makes good movies or sometimes some wacky movies that aren't good, I still very much enjoy him. I think he's one of the few people that's as close to a modern day movie star as we can get, because the movie star title really isn't like a thing these days like it was 20, 30 years ago, but he's very close the types of roles and kind of actor that he is. So, but if it's for the better of his health, then absolutely. And I will just say, go check out Limitless as well. Limitless is incredible. It's an incredible documentary that he does where he's pushing his body to the test. It's pretty fascinating to see stuff like that.
It's interesting because when I first heard about this documentary, my first instinct was like, he's already in amazing shape. He's just showing off. So
we get it. You're strong. You can do things.
Yeah. But so did he find out this information while doing this documentary?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a clip going around. Maybe I'll find the clip on YouTube and we can watch it. But whoever did the test, or maybe someone was reading it, they broke it down to him and they just put the camera on Chris Hemsworth.
Well,
I
think it was before he started doing all this show. He got tested for everything just to make sure like everything's okay, and I think it came back. I haven't watched it, so don't quote me on it. But that's what I thought I saw.
I wonder what that means for his brother Liam. Like, does that mean that he might have it too?
I mean, if it's from both his mom and his dad, it's high probability that he would carry at least one of the 2 genes.
Yeah.
But
I mean, news like that is going to just put a halt to your whole entire life and your family's lives too. So I think it was a really smart move for him to come out publicly to say like, I'm taking a little break to figure things out and spend time with my family. I think that's a great idea. And like he's probably most well known for being Thor, and he's one of the original Avengers to be getting like all these spin-off movies and cameos in other movies and stuff. So I think there'll probably be more Thor to come just because of how the last one ended, but we don't need to rush it.
Mm-mm.
Marvel's been, pretty regimented with their releases, and I think it's good for him to take a step back and just figure some stuff out, reevaluate. But yeah, I don't think this is like the end of his acting career.
No, I don't disagree.
23andMe updated a lot since the last time I checked this.
Are you checking your DNA results?
Yeah, this thing is wild. Like the traits and stuff they give you.
I've never done anything like this.
I didn't do 23andMe. I did another one, Heritage DNA, I think. But
like, how do they know these things? Like these things are crazy. Just like that, you can test and get results on like Alzheimer's and stuff like that. Like love that stuff. But like the fact that we can like narrow things down, because I mean it's obviously needed like to find these things, because like if you can catch it early, like anything bad, you want to catch it early. James, you want to play it?
Oh, you're talking to me? Yeah, I'll play. I have the video here. I'll go and play the video just to see what everything.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
In case anybody who has not seen it. So this is the clip.
Got every blood test one can get, and you have 2 copies of ApoE4, a set from your mom and a set from your dad.
And what does that mean exactly?
That means you have an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease.
How much higher?
Probably somewhere between 8 and 10 times higher than that of someone in the general population.
The idea that I won't be able to remember the life I've experienced, or my wife,
Oh God.
my kids. This is probably my biggest fear.
Oh, that's gonna make me
The
cry.
Alzheimer's Association cautioned.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's legit gonna make me cry.
It's pretty hard to
my
watch.
God.
It's pretty hard.
Ugh. Oh, that's so sad. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But I think
I
it's good that he like went through with putting this documentary out, because some people could have gotten news like that and shut the whole thing down and been like, all right,
Yeah.
this is over. I gotta go reevaluate some stuff. But he took the time to like finish it and put it out there publicly, hopefully so that other people will get themselves tested, or like think about like, did anyone else in my family have it? Should I get tested for this kind of stuff? So I think that's really good of him to do.
Yeah.
Like while all of this is happening for him.
Makes me want to go get tested, depending on if it's going to cost me an arm and a leg or not. Which, I mean, nowadays you can get. I mean, all these DNA tests are out, so I can't imagine it would be like ridiculously expensive. But I'm going to look into it and see, because I would like to know, or would I want to know? That's another thing.
I would want to know personally.
It's like, would you? Okay, question for the class: would you want to know?
That's hard.
I would.
It's hard. It's hard
because I feel like in the next 10 to 20 years, research and science for a possible cure,
that's fair,
or medications and stuff like that could the science behind all that could like take a huge leap.
Preventative measures and stuff, and that's fair. I get that. Yeah,
it would just make me live my life differently. Like, not that to say that I'm living, not that I'm living a life of like
you're living a life.
I have time, but I would make it a point to go out of my way. Like if I were to say no, to something right now, but I knew that I was the possibility of getting Alzheimer's at that high of a rate, I would say yes to a lot more of stuff.
Yeah.
That I would say no to, just because, I mean, I could live 70, 80, 90 years, but I could also live as long, but I can also forget at a much earlier rate if I do get Alzheimer's and have 30 or 40 shorter years of, doing things. So it would just make me, it's that whole perspective shift of just, prioritizing and being like, I got to not be like a full on yes man, like crazy Jim Carrey, but be a yes man.
But it wouldn't be one of those, I went out last weekend, so I'm not going to do anything this weekend. It would be more of, I'm going out. I'm going to do stuff with people. I totally understand that. I would probably, I'd be afraid to know just because how my anxiety works, and I would way overthink it, and I would probably have a really hard time coping with it. But at the end of the day, I'd want to know. Yeah.
So apparently, on a lighter note,
yes,
I'm more likely to prefer chocolate over vanilla. That's wrong.
It said more likely. It didn't say you do. It said more likely. Just like how Chris Hemsworth might.
You said this a long time ago that I had never heard of this. A cilantro taste aversion.
Oh, how it tastes like soap.
I've never heard of that.
That's really? Half people. Yeah. Half people think it's soap. Half people think it's cilantro.
Odds of disliking cilantro not increased. I don't mind cilantro, but I didn't know that was actually like a legit thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before we move on, I wanted to bring up. I wanted to ask, since we're on the topic of Chris Hemsworth, this could be fun. Who outside of Marvel, what is your favorite Chris Hemsworth movie?
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, Cabin in the Woods. Yeah. Cabin in the Woods.
Okay, Cabin in the Woods. There's a bunch of them there. So we have Extraction from Netflix, Spiderhead from Netflix, the terrible Men in Black movie, Snow White and the Huntsman, 12 Strong. He's gonna be in Furiosa. He was in that Ghostbusters reboot.
Jake's already saying Furiosa before it's
in the Heart of the Sea. Correct. Interceptor was the movie with his wife that he was in. He was in The Huntsman, Winter's War. He was supposed to be in Star Trek. He was in Rush. I forgot he was in Vacation.
Rush.
Cabin in the Woods. Yes.
Bad Times at the El Royale or whatever. That was actually a good movie. I liked that one.
I might go with
He basically played the villain. He was a cult leader in that movie. Speaking of cults,
what a good segue.
The Red Dawn remake.
I haven't seen most of these movies. That's crazy.
I haven't either.
I've seen them all, if I'm being honest. I've even seen this one, The Perfect Getaway, which he wasn't the lead of, but he was a skinny unknown that I had no idea who he was because he wasn't Thor yet.
Like pre-Disney workout?
Tiny human being.
He's pretty small in Cabin in the Woods compared to what he looks like now.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think it's a toss-up between Rush, Bad Times at the El Royale, Extraction is really good from Netflix. But let's be honest, it's going to be Furiosa. It's going to be Furiosa. So, no question about that. Brian?
Hype.
I said mine. Bad Times.
Oh, you said Bad Times? Okay. Cool. All right. Just curious. All right, let's get into it. We have left ourselves plenty of times to talk everything that is The Vow. Again, if you have not seen The Vow on HBO, it is a currently 2-season documentary series on NXIVM and everything that happened with the sex cult that was broken out. How long ago was this that these people were arrested? Was this 3 years ago by now?
When they were arrested?
2018, I think, 2019.
They were arrested in 2020, I believe.
Oh, wow. So 2 years ago. 2 years ago.
Because they were arrested after season 1.
It was founded in 1998.
No, because you guys had asked me.
Operation in 2018.
You had asked me before the show, or maybe at the beginning of the show, how the first season ended. The first season ended with Keith Raniere getting arrested, and there was a phone call from the
jail
center to someone that we don't know. I don't know anyway who it was to. Just because I'm only on season 1. I'm moving on to season 2.
Oh, season 2 is so good.
So that's currently where it ended with all of the court hearings and people like Allison Mack, and I forget the main lady that was like the whole talker behind everything.
Nancy Salzman.
Nancy Salzman, thank you. Not them getting their sentences, but basically being their being charged and nothing has happened just yet. But then
That's
we
all
get that
season
moment
2.
of Keith Raniere getting, or basically being in the detention center, so he's officially in prison. So yeah, that's currently where I'm at. I don't know where we want to start. I don't know if we want to zigzag our way through or give our thoughts or just go for it. But I'm leaving the floor to you three because you've seen it all. So go for it. What do we think on The Vow?
Love The Vow.
Shit's wild.
Love The Vow.
It's so wild.
I want a season 3, like, which they could maybe do a season 3. I don't know how. But
So
like,
it ends on a way that you don't know if it's going to make us another one.
No,
No,
it ends
yeah.
pretty definitively, but it's like you kind of
you could make
more.
you could do other stories.
Yeah, I mean, the way it ended, it seems like this could continue to cause trouble for people and
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
people
I mean,
invested.
Because there's still like a sector of people that are like, no,
There always will be.
He's
it's a cult. They're
Yeah.
brainwashed.
framed. He's framed and blah blah blah, and they go into that. So I mean, like, it'd be interesting to get like the other side of the coin and follow them around and see their. Oh my God! Someone just slammed my door and the whole apartment shut.
So I know that this is going to be answered, but I just want to know: did he get life?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, I would like to know that answer.
Okay, spoiler alert: he gets 120 years in prison.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Guilty on all counts.
Guilty on all charges.
So I don't know what he has officially been like charged with, but that's fine. I'll find that out later on. And what
Oh, God.
Take your poison.
I know
honestly.
they were going for everything. Like India's mother had like a list of like 12 or 15 things that they were going for. I don't know exactly what was happening, but I'm not surprised because she knows like everybody. She's like royalty.
Seeing the lawyers that were defending him talk about defending him, it was like, oh my God! Like,
wait, so is season 2 all the courtroom drama?
Yeah, it's the court
It's
stuff.
basically post arrest.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay,
it's great. It's great, but
I feel like season 1 might have taken me, and I'd be curious what you think, Jake. It might have taken me like 2-3 episodes to really get hooked, to the point where I was like, I have to know what happens here with this insane story.
I think it was I don't remember which exact episode it was, but so you have the two main people of Mark and Sarah who are doing basically leading the interviews, right? They're the ones who are kind of leading everything. And Bonnie is fluttered in there. She's really in there towards the end a lot, but then she takes a little bit of a break in the middle. But there's that moment where they start talking about I forgot what they were talking about exactly. It might have been like the whole line thing on the sashes.
Okay.
Oh, the stripe thing. And towards the end of like episode 2, maybe Sarah revealed something, and they did a camera shot of Sarah putting on a sash, and the final shot of the episode was her like smirking, and I was like, wait, is she about to go back to being on his side? Like, I was like, it was like a full-on movie thing of like, did she just switch sides and become the villain in between this whole docu-series thing? She obviously didn't, but from that moment on, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But it didn't go that way. I thought it was a very interesting choice of like, it was a slow motion, and she put on the sash, and she looked up and had this smirk on her face. I'm like, what is this? Like, what is happening right here? Is she about to go bad or turn into a villain? But it did happen. So
when they started introducing the idea of
Curtis knows what I'm talking about. That smirk was evil. Thank you. Thank you.
the idea of DOS, that was when I was like, okay, yep, this is a sex cult.
I think there was 9 episodes in one. It had to be at least the start or end of 6 because it was at least 3 episodes of DOS.
Yeah.
That's when Allison Mack like really took off in the first season, and she was in it like constantly.
She was
and
like
then that's when India's mom came in as well.
She was one of the leaders of the actual sex cult.
I forget what they called her because they had these like weird titles.
She was the master,
like Grandmaster or something like that.
Vanguard was Keith.
Yeah.
Vanguard was his name overall, and Grandmaster was the person above your master, no matter what ranking you were. So Keith was Jane, the girl that wouldn't reveal her real name, was Jane's grandmaster, but Allison was Jane's master.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it was just like a ranking system, and it was grandmaster, master, slave, and then like Jane eventually had slaves, and she was a master to them, and like it was just this whole weird thing.
Yeah. It's and it to hear them
Sorry,
talk
Jane, I'm
in
not talking about
season
you, Jane.
2 about how like his lawyers would go on and on and on about like, well, this was all consensual. They all said yes to this, knowing full well, like they're all adults, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, well, that's not how
Such
brainwashing
BS.
works.
That's not, and, but
BS.
that's what, like, I won't get much into season 2 because Jake hasn't seen it. But with season 2, when it comes to the defense lawyers, and I think I said this on another POV show too, is that like the defense lawyer would be like, yeah, he did a lot of shitty stuff, but nothing that he did is like illegal, and it was driving me nuts because he wasn't wrong. Like it was like from what they had shown so far in the season, it's like it's really shitty stuff, but nothing where like
He
wasn't
clearly used
breaking
his
the
IQ
law.
to his advantage. He knew
Oh,
how to get around
100%.
every
Dude's
single law
he's
possible.
a genius.
He knew
is
how to
a
get around every
genius,
single
and
possible loophole.
In season 2,
law,
you
etc.
you see
Yeah.
you see him a lot more just talking in circles.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
Very much
Oh god, yeah.
like trying to get out of it by just talking in circles, and you're just like,
That was
What?
kind of my thing with him the entire time. Like even since season 1, I was like, everything this guy says
Mhm.
makes no sense if you like break
Yeah.
it down.
Sean
What
and I
is he
talked
even
about that.
talking about?
Sean and I literally had a conversation about it. We're like, he has like an IQ of some ridiculous number. He's like a
I'm pretty
legit
sure it was 240 is what they said.
something crazy.
Yeah.
And so, but he would talk, like Molly said, he would talk in circles, and it would just be all this intellectual jargon where like you think he's saying something, but if you really listen to it, he's really not saying anything at all. But one of the things I really liked with season 1 was that usually when you watch these kinds of cult shows, you always go, how did people get sucked into this? This is so dumb. This is so stupid. How did you not see it? But like at the first 2 episodes of season 1, I remember turning to Sean and going, oh, I could totally see how people.
Well, it was
got
basically a
sucked into
self-help
this.
group.
It was a
Basically
self-help
what it
group.
was. Yeah.
season 2, there were points where I was like, okay, that makes sense. Like,
it was
a couple
so
times
they
I'm like,
made
"Oh,
it clear, and I think it was through Bonnie, because she was Mark. They right off the bat they basically said he was high up in the system. He was a very high guy. So we got to experience everything through him as like teaching. Bonnie, and for those who were watching, we were talking about Bonnie Pierce, who played Aunt Beru in Star Wars. She talked about the whole 5-day. I forget the exact terminology, but the tutorial that they did.
Yeah.
The
and-
summit or something.
Yeah, I don't know the exact word they use. Curtis just watched it, so maybe
It'll
Curtis
pop
knows.
up in my head.
But they talked about how
Seminar, not a seminar.
Seminar, retreat, something like that.
something, yeah. But it was a 5-day system of just like going through classes and trying to learn about yourself, opening up emotionally, letting go of baggage,
It's
and
very psychological, like you're going to therapy. Like
that, and the also idea of them going for the high society, not people who are hurting, not people who are clearly hurting, but taking people who seem fine and think they're fine, and then pulling back
Ship
a
it
layer,
away.
and those people realizing that they're not okay, which is where Allison Mack came into play. She was very successful, very popular. She's playing a lead character on Smallville. Like, she was on the show for 10 years. She was in this during Smallville, which is crazy. And I tweeted it last night. I'll never watch that show ever again the same. It's so unfortunate. But
I thought about that when you were watching. I was like, oh, this is gonna ruin.
They go for people who are extremely successful and
that's why
don't
the
have a
class
problem
courses
living,
were
etc.
like,
And yeah,
the class courses were like, here's your 3-day seminar for $5,000. Like they weren't like going after Joe Schmo. They were going after people who could easily fork over $5,000 for a 3-day psychological course. Like, I can't fork over $5,000.
It was all about self-improvement, but also like once NXIVM got kind of big enough, it was offering people the idea of this like camaraderie and everybody going on these retreats together and like making lifelong friends and all that stuff. like it was so bizarre. But when you think about it, like you can kind of see how people would fall into something like that 100%. If they think they were doing all this for self-improvement and also making a ton of friends along the way, and it was like people that have the same interests as them. So like I see how people got into it, but then at some point like you'd think that they would snap out of it and be like,
as soon as I had to call someone Vanguard, I'd be like, wait a minute.
The leader of this thing has like a secret sorority that belongs to him, or like
but people didn't know that. That's the thing. People didn't know that. That was not common knowledge.
I mean, the first clue should have been the branding with.
But they didn't know that though.
Initials.
And by the but they explained it. So by the time they got branded, they're already so engrossed in the bubble. Like they legit thought it was a woman's empowerment thing. They're all getting there. You're muted, Jake. I can't.
Jake, you're muted.
They've been groomed to that point.
Exactly. By that point, that NXIVM had been a thing for 15 years at that point, and people had been in it. 15 years ago, I was 15 years old. Like if I was in something for 15 years, I'd probably be like, I don't know where I'd be, but these people were in it for 15 years.
The biggest. Sorry, Jill. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was going to say that like how people got into this and did the branding. The two examples you can use is Sarah, who got branded, and Jane, who wasn't in NXIVM. She got brought in by someone just to be a slave right away, and she didn't get branded. So she saw it through it a lot quicker than everybody else because she didn't go through the grooming process of everything that everybody else went through. By the way, I just want to say, because Brian brought it up, the branding blew my fucking mind.
Well, I remember watching that episode.
No, the symbols.
No, I know. Yeah. I remember watching the episode with Sean, and they would explain
not just like Allison Mack and his name.
Yeah, they explained, this is like the mountains that you want to go over. They had this whole story, and then when they turned the image on its side, I was like, I literally gasped out loud. I was like, I lost it.
I was in, I don't know where I was. I might have been on the plane yesterday when I was watching it when that happened. Or maybe it was today. No, it was yesterday. And I saw the Allison, they did the whole AM thing for Allison Mack. I was like, oh my God, like this woman is absolutely insane. And then they flipped it. I almost threw my iPad across the room. I was like, what the hell is happening?
She was a vulnerable woman who,
No, that bitch is psycho.
Well, but they're all, it's sad. They're at the end of the day, they're all victims. Like they're all victims to this big, huge conspiracy of this guy who was power hungry and used his intelligence because he's a freaking sociopath. He has no empathy. He's power hungry. He uses his power to his advantage, and it's disgusting. And the fact that people still defend him absolutely blows my mind, and is really freaking depressing.
Seeing people like Allison Mack and like some of the other girls still defending him, even after the end of season 2 and after he got sentenced and everything. Like, come on.
The rave chick outside the jail.
Oh my God.
Jake, so they like go to the jail.
Don't ruin anything for me.
I'm not.
He's got to watch it.
Brian, stop explaining.
No, fine.
He's got to watch it. He's got to watch season 2. But it's.
Do we find out what happens in India?
All the things I want to talk about, I can't.
No. So India has another documentary on stars.
But they don't talk about her at all?
Not in season 2.
Because she was such a huge part of the first season.
Because she did her own documentary with stars. I think it was a contractual thing.
That's some BS.
She's the one whose mom was like the British, like really.
She's her mom was the heiress to the Seagram's alcohol.
Oh, the Seagrams lady.
Correct.
Oh, we hear
I thought that
about...
was a different lady.
Was it?
No, Brian. Those were the two sisters who funded everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's India's the British lady, right? The blonde
Australian or British.
Okay, but yeah, she has an accent.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Her daughter does.
Her mother has it in with the Dalai Lama. Essentially, is what's happening.
Yeah. She has her own documentary on stars.
Which, like, seeing Keith meet the Dalai Lama and like. You could tell, like, halfway through their conversation, the Dalai Lama was like, and then later he came out and was like, I don't want anything to do with him.
But it shows how much power he had with the fact that he even got the chance to go meet the freaking Dalai Lama. Like, that's not just like something that Joe Schmo can go do.
He
like,
was on
I don't know how
cover of,
anybody
like,
didn't see
Time
this guy and
magazine.
go. I don't know how anybody didn't see this guy and go, "Wow, what a massive creep!" Like he screams stage 5 clinger. Like I'm sorry,
100%. Oh,
he
100%.
does.
The
100%.
ego on him.
I don't care
is
what he
just-
says, but he
The only-
screams stage 5 clinger. And to think that, and for him to think that he's good at volleyball, like, come on, dude.
Come
Oh my
on.
god.
Volleyball.
The
Freaking
volleyball.
volleyball.
Come
They
on.
don't really talk about that in season 2 at all. I forgot about that.
You
Well, do
see,
you know-
there's
so you
clips
know
from,
why-
there's
the
clips from
clips,
volleyball.
yeah.
They do a nice little thing at the end of the, like, the couple last episodes or something where they showed an interview of why he chose volleyball as like his sport. It's because of the whole pain thing of like, it's good pain when you hit the ball on your arms. Like, it doesn't
It was
hurt.
a teaching
Like
lesson.
you're taking a ball off your arms and a ball's coming flying at you, but you're still hitting it, but it doesn't hurt. It's good pain. So that's why he chose volleyball. Cause I saw a lot of people talking about how, well, why the hell volleyball? And that's the reason why. It just
I
he
just
was
thought
not
it was
good
the
at it
whitest
whatsoever.
sport that they could play.
No. That's lacrosse, Molly. That's
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say like frisbee golf. but
Lacrosse
sure.
takes actual talent.
Oh,
oh
God.
no,
He's-
extreme frisbee. Extreme frisbee.
Yeah,
Extreme
ultimate frisbee.
Ultimate frisbee. Thank you.
He looks like someone that would enjoy a good ultimate frisbee game.
Uh,
Okay, I may be crazy.
oh, really?
The,
Newsflash.
the only one that I actually kind of believe / felt sorry for was Nancy by the end of season 2.
Mm.
I genuinely think that she thought she was doing good.
Jake needs to
Yeah.
watch it, but yeah,
Wait, Nancy's the business partner, right?
Yeah,
correct.
he's
Where his
like-
daughter where her daughter was sleeping with him the whole time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that bitch is crazy.
Hearing her
Wait to
talk in
watch
season 2 is mind blowing because
Lauren is a
That the daughter is on her
Yeah.
own, but
I spent the first half of season 2 still just like hating Nancy, and then the second half of season 2, you're like, well,
Did she get time?
You gotta watch it, or do you want to know?
You don't
I'm
want
not
me to
asking-
spoil the
okay,
funny
okay.
thing, but the main thing that they're leading up to. You want?
Yeah, Brian. Yeah,
spoiled?
exactly.
Jesus Christ!
I mean, you can Google it and figure that out.
No, I'm already watching, so I'll watch it
Yeah,
again.
Nancy.
Oh, I
Nancy-
put so much stuff behind just to watch this show, you guys. Like, I haven't watched the Guardian special yet because I was watching this.
I'm so glad.
I haven't watched
I'm
it
so
yet.
Glad, though.
It's
I'm so glad.
I
Aren't you
mean,
glad? Aren't you glad?
she
Well, no,
said-
because it's not good shit to watch.
But you're invested.
Did Gabby watch it at all?
No, she came home Friday night from San Diego to be with her family, and so I needed something to watch, and I wasn't gonna watch our shows together, so I started a new. But then I found out later on that she watched our shows without me, so
Oh.
Yikes!
she's probably watching her now. She's gonna text me, so
Oh, well,
I think she would like it.
I'm sure she would probably watch it and be hooked.
Yeah.
But
oh,
she has such a hard time giving things a chance if it's not like some housewife bullshit. I don't know. Anyway,
watch it. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the housewives was in NXIVM, to be completely honest with you. So
well, I mean, if you saw my TikTok, she thought Sarah Connor was some housewife. So
that's right. That's right. That was cute. That was cute. I did see
Oh
that.
man,
Trying to think things that
Season 2, man.
they're on.
okay, question: do we get to see more of Callie from Battlestar?
No, for like a
Yeah.
second.
no,
And
we
I
get
didn't
more
know
of
that
her.
Oh, bye.
Uh-oh.
The people still in NXIVM found out we're talking shit on him, and they decided to.
Okay, quick. Talk about everything we can't talk about with Jake.
Oh no, he's back. He's back. He's coming back. He's coming back. It's loading. His internet has been not interneting recently. Oh, he's back. He doesn't look happy. There he is. Welcome back. Hello.
Hold on, my internet's being all wonky. Give me a sec.
Oh, okay. Are we loading?
I didn't kick him. I would never.
I must be kicked because I was talking in the middle of it.
Nikki
mean?
Klein is her name, the actress who played Callie on Battlestar.
I didn't realize Boomer was in it. I don't know if you guys heard that, but Boomer's in it too.
Yep,
Wait, Boomer
That's
was in
why.
it?
Boomer was
Yeah,
in it,
dude.
but she got out after a little while.
And so did Kristen Crook. Thank you very
Boom.
much.
Yes. Okay.
Thank
Never mind.
God Lana Lang got out. That would have ruined my Smallville experience even more.
Hmm
They're like, nah, dog.
But no, so Nikki Klein is in season 2. Not a lot, but like she's got a lot of interesting interviews.
She's like full in on it, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
depressing.
And I
It
saw
is so
someone
sad.
comment. I saw someone comment that her and Allison Mack got married.
Yep. In
What?
2017, I think they got married, and then they got divorced in 2020. You got cult members got to stick together. Their
Yeah.
leader
Wild,
was in jail.
man.
They didn't know what to
Was
do.
Nikki Klein a part of DOS?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Because they she was rarely touched on in the first season. So
She's
Yeah.
proudly a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, these bitches are crazy. I'm sorry, but
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
It's sad. It's sad.
Wait
It's
till you
really
see
sad.
Jake in
sad.
season 2, like how loyal these people that are still like brainwashed in it. Like
It's sad.
there's people that have like diseases that are cured because of it.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I am curious about. I mean, I've watched so much lately, but isn't there a part in the season 1 where someone's stutter got fixed?
Okay, that's what I
Yes.
was referring to.
They did.
Okay,
They did
so-
talk about him in season 1 a little bit. You find out
fair.
more about it in season 2.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
talked about him very briefly in season 1, and then they talked about someone else having something else, some other thing that he fixed. I don't know what it was, but they came in. Oh, it was like a smoking, or the pressure
Mhm.
point thing, and he was like, "Yeah, just do this when you don't want to smoke," and it cleared her smoking or whatever. And I'm like, interesting.
The
I mean,
Tourette's
Okay.
guy.
You can brainwash
Tourette's,
a lot
that's
of
what it.
stuff
That's what it
away.
was. Yeah. That's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
you
Like
could-
he's
you could
he's
hypnotize
hypnotizing
them.
everybody.
You can hypnotize
Yeah.
people. Like it's
Yeah.
it's not an NXIVM thing. Like hypnosis is a thing that actually exists. Like it's not new science.
Yeah.
That guy is wild.
Okay, I gotta bring up a couple comments here. This one's from Curtis from a little bit early on. Honestly, it would be pretty good weight loss method texting if you can have calories.
Oh yeah.
Asking
Yeah, they were-
permission to eat.
They
asking
were
permission
restricted
to
to
eat.
like
God.
500 calories a day.
500 calories a day.
And Keith would like
God.
chastise women and like keep them out of the loop of everything that they did if they gained weight and weren't like constantly working out and like losing weight.
There were videos of just like the behind the scenes stuff they were shooting. You can tell in certain videos if you looked closely enough of how skinny some of those people really were.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
it was terrifying
Allison,
to look at.
Allison Mack at some point like started losing her hair, and
Yeah.
you could tell
hmm
Sad.
it was gross.
God.
Okay, this one's for you guys, and I don't care if you guys talk about it, but Tori asked, "What did you all think of The Room?"
That just made me so mad.
That
Mhm.
is
Fucking wild. Dude.
Yeah.
That's a good example of like
Is this like a
Just
sex dungeon or
how-
something?
No.
No.
Okay. Damn.
it's a
Just-
big. Do you want to know? It's like 2 episodes worth towards.
No,
the
I mean you guys can talk about it like briefly. Don't spoil anything major, but if you need to talk about it because we're here to talk about it. So
it's an
That-
example of like what I said with Keith basically punishing someone for not following his rules or whatever.
torture chamber.
Not, I mean,
well,
psychologically, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
along those lines.
It's, God, I remember, like, God, Sean and I watched this, like, we watched it together, and we were just gobsmacked by The Room. Like,
the amount of time.
how long?
Mhm.
When she said how long, I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
The way
it's
that-
not even comprehensible.
No.
Oh, it's like solitary in prison. You're alone.
I mean,
Kind
do you wanna
of.
know?
Well,
Do you
you've
wanna know or
pretty much
no?
figured most of it out at this point.
Okay, cool.
Like-
I'm smart like that.
Do you want to
It's-
know at this
No,
point?
no, no. You're good. You're good.
Okay,
It's,
great.
I mean, that's there's more to it, but it's just, yeah, it shows, like what Molly said, it just shows how much of a hold he had on
Mhm.
people. And
And that the people that were in charge of it thought that this was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
her
were on board with all
family-
of it.
her family thought it was okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
Like they were like, "Oh, this is a good idea."
Have I met this person?
no.
No.
Okay.
There's a lot.
way
You'll
that-
meet, like a lot of key players
Yeah.
Curtis, you're genius, Curtis.
That would also be.
Oh, hi, Mack.
The way that season 2 is formatted, like the way that they end episodes with a huge cliffhanger that
Oh
leads
my
into the
God.
next one, it's like it pulls you in way more than the first season.
And you guys watched it weekly, right?
Do it.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. As soon as an
Ha.
episode came out, I was like, we're freaking watching
I
it.
get to binge it all.
I'm so jealous.
They would leave you on such crazy cliffhangers that you'd just be like, what do I do with my life after this?
No, I want to know. No.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's yeah.
it's wild. It's wild. It's sad. It's heartbreaking. It's
Oh,
and the
yeah.
way they filmed it is just so good. Season 1 and season 2. Whoever did these docuseries, just the way they filmed it is just brilliant.
I think if I could pick someone in the whole world to punch like a lot, it would be Keith. Like
right in the face.
I can think of one other person that would be.
Taking back to the very first happy hour, who could you punch in the face right now?
Yeah.
Keith Raniere.
He'd be pretty
Right in the
he's
nose.
pretty high on my list, if not on the top of it now.
I would rip that dumbass ponytail off his head and punch him.
Gross.
Oh my god, he's got a ponytail now.
Oh
I hate
god,
him
he gets a
more.
ponytail.
If you have a ponytail, I'm sorry, but you're notched down in my book.
That's also some people can pull off a ponytail. Some people can pull off a man bun. Keith Raniere cannot pull anything. No.
Yeah.
Wait, Tori, is that a fact?
Tori said he got beat up in prison. I saw an article.
Oh yeah. I'm
Drop
not
that-
Let's find this
drop
out.
that-
Hold on.
Saying throughout the trial, like I'm gonna die if I go in there, and
Good.
oh well.
Good. Oh, it's a fact. Oh, I need to see the articles. I want to know who did it. So
I'm-
I
Okay, here we
send
go.
them their package.
Raniere was in the dining hall at U.S. Penitentiary Tucson in Arizona on July 26 when he was assaulted by inmate Maurice Withers with a
Good job.
closed fist on Mr. Raniere's head and face. It is not clear what led to the alleged assault or whether the inmate was aware of Raniere had been convicted for multiple charges of running blah, blah, blah.
Good job,
Um,
Maurice.
So yeah, he was beat to shit apparently.
Merry
I'm
Christmas,
normally-
Maurice.
Like
Oh,
pretty against violence, but in this case I'm like
In this case,
I'll give that a
Raniere-
golf clap.
Raniere did not fight back, and he suffered a black eye, swelling,
he would
nausea,
get
and
his
dizziness.
ass whooped if he tried to
I
fight
would love
back.
to see this man try to fight back anyone.
Dude is 90 pounds soaking wet. Like he would get his
He-
ass whooped.
He requested ice packs to treat the swelling and pain and was denied.
Good. Good.
Yeah, Raniere was given a disciplinary ticket for fighting and placed in a prison special housing unit.
So wait, Keith got a ticket for fighting, or the guy? who
Yeah,
did
and
him?
then Withers, who is serving 18 years.
Got
Wait.
Got it-
Wait,
got
wait,
it- got
Withers,
it cupcake.
who is accused of the attack, is serving 18 years for convictions linked to a sex trafficking operation.
Oh.
Oh my god! So he. Oh,
Huh.
okay. Well, you're both
So,
trash.
so what happened is Raniere probably took his business and he was pissed off by it. Is what happened.
Oof.
They're-
Maybe.
God, they're both trash. But Jesus.
I mean, yeah, all the prison can do at that point really is put Keith in solitary confinement just to keep him away from the other inmates. So it's a lose-lose for him.
Maurice is inmate of the month. Thank
He
you,
gets his
John.
picture up on the
John,
wall.
John is a Starburst patron here, and he doesn't comment very much, but when he does,
That was
So
a
he
good
makes
golden.
one.
great.
It's like the inmate who killed like Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like, you know what?
Yeah,
Good
Yeah.
job. Good
Yeah.
job.
yeah.
Like it's one of those things. Like, yeah, you're a shitty dude, but punching
But
out
you
another
know-
shitty dude.
You know
Good on you.
Keith is in prison, like writing his autobiography, writing
Oh,
all this
100%.
BS down for him to eventually like release to the public, and like another documentary will come out with him, you know, being like, I was framed and blah blah blah, and like, ugh.
He's gonna be.
I just saw this. That.
I-
his- But he doesn't want to move because he
Well,
thinks that.
look at the below comment.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
doesn't want to be transferred because he thinks he'll die anywhere else. Good.
Well,
Mhm.
Oh,
Good.
sorry.
Good.
Sorry, not sorry.
Good. He's gonna be like, I have a bad feeling Keith is gonna be like a Richard Ramirez situation where he's gonna get all these freaking weirdo admirers who are like sending him letters and stuff. Like even people that
Yeah.
even people that
The
weren't
rage
in
scene
NXIVM.
was enough to tell
Well,
you.
I'm saying even people who weren't in NXIVM, like you're gonna get those people that are like all over him because he's, you know.
What are the chances that the new Netflix monster series covers this from Ryan Murphy?
I think it's too soon.
I think he likes more murderers.
I don't know, man. I mean, this is pretty vicious, like branding women and
I think
making
it's
them
too
not eat
soon.
food to have
I
sex
think
with them, and
It's
I think-
it's too.
I don't think it's violent enough.
we're totally gonna get a fictionalized version of this very soon, whether it's a
No,
movie or
I
TV
mean,
series.
yeah.
I
Very
think because
soon.
of this, because some of the people involved in all of this were actresses and actors and like people in Hollywood, I don't think Netflix would touch this.
No.
Maybe,
Nah.
but
They'll
I wouldn't
spin
be
it.
surprised if someone working at Netflix was still a supporter of Keith's.
I'm just glad. I don't know if I should say glad. I'm just. I love that immediately when this ends, HBO's like, "Don't you worry, we got another one coming for you." 'Cause
More cult documentaries.
it was because I was scrolling through TikTok and
It doesn't sound nearly as juicy though.
oh no,
Like
I'm
we all
waiting-
know religious stuff. There's been like 1,000 religious cult like documentaries. So
Hi,
I'm kinda like,
Scientology. Where's your wife, Miscavige?
Yeah, I would love someone to research that one. I would love it. I need Leah Remini to step her game up. Because...
Leah Remini is queen. We don't disrespect Leah Remini.
No, I mean like I need her to be the one that finds her, like, and just or
she ain't gonna be found. She's dead.
I
She's
know,
dead and buried.
Find
oh
where
wait, I
she
thought they found her
No.
or that she came out.
No,
No.
the police got a like handwritten letter saying like I'm good.
The
Yeah.
LAPD is in on
Yeah.
it. Like Scientology pays the LAPD like buckets of money.
Well, they just did a thing. Leah Remini just dropped a thing saying like she literally uncovered.
She had a whole Twitter thread.
Yeah.
Rumor
I
has
went
it
to
the
a-
reason why the
a
Simpsons is still a thing is because of Scientology.
I went to a Scientology protest once.
Have fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Good.
I
I've
held a
wanted-
sign and everything.
Proud of you.
Me and my friend. This was either the year. No. Second year into college or third. We were so in downtown Sacramento. They have like a Scientology church. It's like right by,
The Kimpton Sawyer Hotel,
yeah, but it's like right by like
the Kings Arena.
Kings Arena, like the hub, the like downtown like area of Sac. And we almost went in just out of curiosity to do like
No.
see like what is because it's weird because anytime you drive by, you never see anyone inside.
No.
One time, I've probably driven by it probably like 75
I've
times.
seen people outside.
I've seen
I think
one
flyers.
time, one person in that building. One time, one person. And 75 times I've gone by it. It's wild. So
Every time I walk by the Hollywood one with Sean, I go, "You want to go join a cult?" No,
He's already
I'm
got
not
his
good.
own.
yeah,
He's already
Um,
got his cult of the lamb.
yeah.
He's already got a cult going.
Have you guys heard of the HBO documentary series Going Clear or documentary?
Mhm.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I
So
watched
it's
that
based. It's filmmaker Alex Gibney interviews former members of the Church of Scientology and reveals abuses and strange practices within the controversial organization. It's from 2015. It's interesting.
one. That one's pretty good.
Vapion, that's what I was saying. Like, people think that The Simpsons is because who watches The Simpsons? People think that The Simpsons is still like a thing because Scientology pays for it to still be a thing. Because Nancy Cartwright is a Scientologist.
The voice of Bart is.
Bart Simpson. Hmm.
Interesting.
And like
Very
19 other voices on
interesting.
the show. But
Well, I mean, they make money just from like literally. If you watched me and my mom at when the Leah Remini thing was coming out, like we watched it like every week, and like the amount of money they pull it, like anything you do requires money in that cult.
It's a cult.
Mhm.
You don't need to do this. It's a cult.
Question from Callum. Do you think Tom Cruise could end Scientology if he wanted to?
End it?
He end it? No, I don't.
No.
I don't even think he could do it.
No, if he came out and just dropped and said everything, then yes. But he would have to say like everything, because
So you're saying Tom Cruise is above Scientology, is what you're saying, Brian?
He's the
they
face
would
of
have
it.
they would have a sniper on him so fast.
Oh yeah, they would.
They'd
That's
take him out.
true.
They already have people stalking Leah wherever the hell she goes. Like,
Yeah.
no.
If he was able to somehow come out and say absolutely, because he knows everything.
Of course he
Like,
does.
So like if he came out and said absolutely everything, yeah, I think he could get rid of it.
Does he know everything though? Like, do they trust him to know everything and not
he's
say it on
literally
Oprah or
their
something?
I love Katie Holmes.
I mean, it's that like, what is it? Not a gag order. I don't know what it is, but
An NDA.
not even an NDA. But what's her face? Katie Holmes hasn't said a word in years. You know that they locked her ass down. Like, we'll let you go, but you ain't saying you know what.
They probably threatened her.
Oh, of course.
Blake, side note, Blake brings up Keep Sweet and Pray.
Oh my god, that documentary made me so angry.
That one
What
is
is
pretty
this?
bonkers too. It's another kind of like culty religious documentary.
It's FLDS. It's a sect of the
They're Mormons, isn't it?
Mormon church, but
yeah.
it's Warren Jeff's sect with
that one, yeah.
with like child marriage and like it's god, it just made me so mad. It's a good one, but it made me so
Oh
mad.
my god, Leo! So this,
Oh yeah,
I think I forget which either show or if it was the Leah Remini stuff, like where she like broke it down or something, and it was just like, whoever thought that this should be made into a movie? Like, it's
Scientologists.
that shit crazy.
Mhm.
But we love a good cult,
Scientology.
as long as we're not in it.
Nope, we're good.
Who knows? Someone who could be watching could be totally involved.
Well, get out. We're here to help you. DM us.
Tell us all about it, and we'll
Let us know where Miscavige's wife is, and all's good.
Who is this you're speaking of?
Miscavige is the head of the Scientology.
So in Scientology, the head guy, basically their pope, essentially was married, and his wife was just like always like the face and blah 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 blah. All of a sudden, one day she just disappeared.
She hasn't been seen in 8 years. Or
No,
like
it's like
something
15.
like that. Oh, yeah.
It's
She
like, yeah,
hasn't been seen.
Is there like a documentary or something on this I could watch?
Leah Remini's stuff?
Leah Remini's is the biggest.
Okay,
Interesting. Yeah, Robert, the South Park episode. That's when I first learned about it. South Park literally like does a like thing where they basically supposedly like share what their belief, like their religious like thing is, and it's wild. It's like some alien god trapped the souls in its room into a volcano, and then the volcano exploded and the souls got out and sucked into a space vacuum, and then like it's wild. Look up South Park Scientology if you want. And
when your religion was created by a sci-fi writer,
it's insane. That's all. Yeah, Xenu. That's it. It's bonkers.
I'm trying to find the name of this other documentary that I obsessed over for a while, and I can't remember what it was called or which network it was on.
Was it about Scientology?
No, it was about so it ended with this whole town going to see a community-run play about the scandal, and
with the murderers, with the people who was it the one with the people who like were
Yes.
oh my god.
Like,
you told me about this one. Yeah, where they like but they were all innocent.
Yeah, the like 6 to 8 people that ended up going to jail for murders that none of them did.
You all watch some crazy ass shit.
True crime docs are the shit, man.
Like, you all are nuts. Like, should I be doing a podcast with you three? Like,
I mean, if anyone's going to
There's
be
far
able
too
to
many.
figure out a way to get away with murder, it would be this one.
I could tell
yes,
you.
Yeah.
absolutely
Guaranteed.
terrifying.
You gotta bury a dead animal on top of it because if a dog goes sniffing for it, they'll find the animal and they'll think that it's a false alarm. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Proven
Why-
innocent? Was that not
No,
what it was called?
You've thought about that way too much.
No.
I just watch a lot of true crime. I watch way too much true crime.
Although Vapion is right, I am starting a cult based around John Hughes movies. That is a
Oh, John
cinematic
Hughes
universe masterpiece right there, John Hughes movies. Brian, you missed out last night. We had our Patreon watch along, and we watched Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. And all we were doing all night was finding out that every John Hughes movie lives in the same universe.
Wait,
which
is
is
that
pretty interesting.
like an actual thing?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people are going to find ways around it, but I'm telling you, they're all in the same universe. 100%
Okay.
they are.
This is one of the conspiracy theories I buy into.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Well, you got to read the comment for audio listeners, Brian. Callum
Since
says,
we're on, yes, said since we're on conspiracy theories, did Stanley Kubrick take the moon landing? So did we land on the moon? I'm gonna say no.
you don't think we landed on the moon?
Here's my thing.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Here's my
Here
thing.
we go.
Why have we not gone back in so long?
This is a TikTok waiting to be made.
When we have so
God
much
damn.
advanced technology. and
Where's
there
my
was,
tinfoil hat?
Barely technology
somewhere.
was like just getting good when we landed on the moon.
Because we conquered it, Brian. We didn't need to go back. We didn't need to go back. And then we move on. We do moon. We do our moon thing. And then they're like, you know what? We're going to try for Mars. And we've been trying for Mars ever since. And then the American government were like, you know what?
So then
Space
why
isn't
didn't
that
we
important anymore.
Why didn't we
Space
just
isn't that important.
Why didn't we just go to the moon, set up our little
Because the government said that space isn't the future. They decided for us that space is not the future.
Show that you guys are obsessed
For all
with?
mankind.
Yes. Let's do it for all mankind. Set up a little place.
Because it's not as easy as a television show, Brian. It's not as easy.
But that
you honestly think that we didn't land on the moon?
It depends on what mood I'm in. Some days I truly believe that we have, and then some days I truly believe we don't.
I found the name of it. It's called Mind Over Murder. Sorry.
Is that what it was? Mind Over Murder?
Mind Over Murder. It was a.
I gotta watch all these. I'm putting that one in the chat. Mind
Over Murder is such a good one because, like, it's this thing that this whole town kind of believes happened, and by the end of it, the whole town goes to watch.
Yeah, the Beach
play.
is 6. Yep, that's it.
They go to watch this play that was written and performed by members of the community, and then you see them slowly start to realize that they're wrong. And,
yeah, it's
like,
great.
and like, I think most of them admit that they were wrong, but it takes them a long time to do it, and you're just like, sorry.
It's great.
Jake, I'm trying to give you your TikTok.
I cannot get over the fact that Brian doesn't believe that we landed on the moon.
Brian, we're going back right now. I think
I do,
we're doing it again.
and I don't.
Oh my God. So do you believe the Earth is flat as well?
No, I'm not
God,
that
please
crazy.
don't.
I'm not an idiot. It's just that is the one that I'm just like.
I love this.
Jesus Christ.
See, and that's the thing. Like,
You're taking away that whole man's life by
you
saying
wanna
he
know the
didn't land on
irony?
the moon.
You want to know the irony? The elementary school I went to was Neil Armstrong Elementary School. So,
Hey.
So
Yeah.
Brian, what you're also saying is that Transformers don't live on the dark side of the moon, is what you're also saying.
no,
What?
They no. It's
Wait, I have to know, Brian. What do you think NASA does? Is
I
that
mean,
is that a
they're-
cover up?
Oh no. They're doing everything.
Are birds
like,
real,
they
Brian?
do all of that, but it's like, why aren't we
This is
like
so
doing the moon? Like, what's with the moon? Like, I mean, like,
What's with the moon?
yeah.
Tell us, Brian.
Why are we not hanging out on the
Do
moon?
you believe it's some technological monster like that movie Moonfall last year?
No, I'm not.
Because that movie was trash.
Well, we're not on the moon because there's no atmosphere on the moon, and it would cost $1 bajillion to build an
Yes.
atmosphere on the moon.
Yes.
This one also sometimes gets me.
Oh my god.
There we go.
The aliens
Oh my
built the
god.
Here we go.
Why haven't we
All right,
figured out? Why haven't
Okay,
we
Brian,
figured out
let
how
me-
the pyramid?
Because
Here's
the
my theory.
Library of Alexandria was burnt,
I
Brian.
know.
Here's
That's
my
why.
theory. Brian, here's my theory. Here's what I think may have happened with the
Oh
pyramids.
God! All
I
right.
think it has nothing to do with aliens. I think the pyramids, the top of the pyramid, was once actually ground level and they were built below. That's
Huh.
how they're so big. And that's why the bricks are so big. And then over time, the ground corroded. And that's why people are so enamored by the fact that these bricks are so big. How did people build this pyramid with these giant clay bricks? I think that the top of the pyramid at one point in time was actually ground level and they were built below.
I'm learning
So
much
they dug underground and
They
started.
dug
building?
underground. Yeah.
With what? With their hands and shovels?
They still had tools. Yeah. I mean, they still have tools.
I don't know. I watched Prince of Egypt, and they definitely built it upward.
I just think people were a lot stronger back then. They don't make them like
We're
they
just
used to.
wusses.
Guys, we're
No.
missing the point.
Now we're just the people in
Transformers.
Wall-E.
Literally
Transformers made the
pyramids.
pyramids?
Transformers. Pyramids, Transformers.
Oh.
It's in the movies. Come
I know.
on, guys.
I didn't see most of
Transformers
those.
made the pyramids, and birds aren't real.
Revenge of the Fallen. The Fallen created the pyramids, and it's a giant super weapon that the Transformers are a part of.
Okay, but why do you think we haven't gone back to the moon?
We're going back right now, Brian.
But it's been 50
Because
years.
why? Why?
Because
Why do we need to
the
go to the
the politics of it
Yes.
doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
I
Gotta speak
legitimately
crazy.
think that the American government does not believe that space travel is a priority. I don't.
Mm.
I think that they think conquering the moon, going to the moon, we did it, cool, we can move on. Whereas I think that actually space travel is pretty damn important to what we could be. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of things out there we have no idea about. I know people talk about the ocean, and the ocean is a very big deal as well.
That was
But I
that
think
was
I think
Maddie's
space
success.
I think space is just as important, if not more,
Mhm.
personally.
So Maddie said we're spending too much time looking at what's in space, not enough time looking at the bottom of the ocean. No one wants to know what's at the bottom of the ocean.
Have you
Terrifying.
seen the
Something's gonna eat
creepy
you.
fish and whatever else lives at the bottom of the
Uh-huh.
ocean?
Long
No,
legs.
We can just leave them alone.
And they're
Yeah,
squiggly.
let's let them be, because the last thing we need is to unleash what's Cthulhu. Yeah.
Moon Man, look out, Jill.
Yeah.
Back
It's
on the-
Space Ranger Sean.
Can you confirm or deny that the moon is real?
Although I
No.
do love me a good Titanic documentary.
Blake
Oh.
Quick here says
I love
aliens
it.
are
I
real,
love it.
guys. Joe Rogan's podcast has said he saw them and he couldn't be lying.
No, John
There you go.
lies. Never.
Andy, you like to focus on places where I can breathe. You live on an island of death, sir. You literally live on a death island. I went on TikTok today. The very first thing I went on was a woman that was like, "Come tour the University of Australia."
Oh, I saw
with
that
me."
one too. And it was like, look at
Literally-
these spiders. Here's a
It's trees
snake.
where they just made spider everything, and
Here's
I'm like,
some giant ass
burn it to the
kangaroos
ground.
beating the shit out of each other right next to my homeroom. Like,
But I bet their ozone layer over there is thicker.
I probably is.
Their
I don't
cities
know.
aren't as polluted as ours.
I would have to walk
What's
in the
fresh
street
air?
if I was in Australia. I have a better chance of being okay walking in the middle of the road than walking under a nest of spiders.
I don't know, Andy. Don't you want dirt lung? Don't you want the LA dirt lung? I mean, truly where it's at.
Oof.
My body
Um,
can't handle fresh air. I shut down.
Yeah, you should
it
see her
doesn't
after
know
her
what to
Ren
do.
fairs. It's like for a week she sounds like Gollum.
Dirt lung is the best lung.
I'm worried
Uh,
about getting altitude sickness in Colorado. I've heard about that. And
Lady, you better
Possible.
chill with your booze, because that you get drunk
It's-
so much faster.
Yeah, Molly, you're
You
gonna be
know I
toasted
won't.
after like a drink and a half. Yeah. The way you two make drinks, woo!
Oh boy.
Woo!
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Yep.
One is like 3. So
Oh,
it's-
great.
just
We'll
made
save
plans
money.
To chill at the Airbnb for like 3 days.
You'll
straight, 'cause we
save
ain't going
money.
nowhere.
We'll save money.
Oh my god.
I don't know. We might be
Um,
doing something else over there because it's legal there. Just saying.
Hey.
I
No, what?
Sean.
What?
Dirt Lung was the name of my college thrash punk band.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Love
That's a pretty decent band name.
Dirt Lung.
Mhm.
All I pray is that you guys have like the most fabulous 80s outfits to go skiing down the hill in.
Neon. I hope they're neon.
I mean, we'd have to rent them because like the stuff we bought is all like black and gray.
Boo. We want
Ugh.
neon ski pants.
Well, no, Alex bought some
Highlighter
like
yellow.
rebel orange and white gloves.
Love it. Love
What's
it.
the
The
gloves?
Star Wars
You
gloves.
should wear his Big's helmet should be his skiing helmet.
Do it.
Just-
Snow stuff is expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it is. Yes, it is.
Are you snowboarding or just skiing?
Probably just skiing. Alex might try to snowboard, but it seems a lot harder.
It sucks.
Oh, it is. It is.
I've never tried skiing. I've only done snowboarding. It's hard.
Just Molly, remember, point your toes.
Point your
Pizza
toes.
French fries. Pizza
French
French fries.
Point your toes.
Thanks, South Park.
Exactly. See,
all right. Are
snowboarding,
we?
the only way I could stop my face, or a tree. I had to stop.
Yeah.
Are we moving on from conspiracy theories? Can we wrap up this show now?
Why you need to go somewhere?
No, I'm just asking.
We should have a whole separate conspiracy theory episode.
We can do a
Yeah.
conspiracy
Sean can
theory
host.
episode very soon. Yeah, we'll have
Sean
Sean
will host.
on and anybody else who wants to talk conspiracy theories. That could be a full blown episode for sure.
Oh boy.
Mm.
But until then, we'll save all those comments and
Oh
questions
boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
for that episode. So get those ready. Maybe that'll happen next week. Maybe it'll happen in 2 weeks. I'm not sure, but we'll definitely do one.
I've got a question. You know
Can you
those
save it for
planes?
the show that's about conspiracy
No,
theories?
this is my last one.
I'm trying to wrap up.
You know the planes that go by and then shoot the two like
Oh,
big
like
trailer?
the what's it called? The
chemtrails?
chemtrails.
What do we think about those ones?
I think that they're just things that I think it's just an airplane thing. I think people are. Just
You know how you've ever seen like a plane go and then there's like the white streaks behind them and stuff?
I just
What do
thought
you
that
think
was
it is?
like
Ghosts?
Oh no,
chemtrails?
I'm just curious. I think it's literally just heat and
It's just airplane
Yeah,
stuff.
it's
People,
Yeah, it's from the engine. It's like
Yeah.
any
I-
other engine that happens.
I know. I was
It's
just
an engine.
curious if anyone.
it's
thought
a
they
bunch
were.
of microscopic cameras and drones, and they're just slowly dissipating down to everyone's houses.
Oh my god!
that,
Here
and
we
they
go.
and those create birds.
Here we go.
Yes. That's the food for their fake birds.
That's the bird food.
No, it's batteries for
It's
the
the
thing.
batteries.
That's right.
It's the
Fake birds eat
chargers, the
batteries.
chargers.
No, their batteries are the power lines, and that's how they're
Oh
like.
yeah. They have
Well,
to
if they're
charge.
robots, why would they need to eat?
They charge their batteries.
fixing
That's
their
also why they
batteries.
sit on electrical lines. They're
Firmware
charged.
updates. That's what that is.
You guys are.
Firmware
This
updates.
is just becoming
You
ridiculous.
ever seen a
This
baby
is-
pigeon, Jake?
Especially.
All right, everybody, I'm wrapping this show up. Goodness, we'll save the conspiracy theory comments and questions for later on. Everyone in the chat is blowing up with theories right now. This is amazing. Thank you all.
Love.
Thank you all. Save all those. As always, thank you.
There's no
Oh.
way Jake's ever seen a baby pigeon.
Jake has never seen a baby pigeon. No.
Yeah.
Yes, I have, Sean. We'll save all that for another episode. Save all of your comments and questions. But as always, thank you to everyone in the chat who has joined us, hung out with us, commented along for both the Vow and the Chris Hemsworth conversation. We really appreciate you guys hanging out on Monday nights. We're doing our show live, and we're going to be going through up until Christmas week, which will be taking rate patrons. You'll have some information coming this week on schedule for both trivia, watch along, and then the Q&A thread will go out on Wednesday, and more information regarding everything Patreon for December as well. Let's do some plugs. I'll go backwards this time. Molly, where can everyone find you online during your vacation?
Nowhere. You cannot find me.
Yeah, good
Leave her
answer.
alone.
Good answer.
I am unfindable for the next week-ish.
Good
The
answer.
end.
Molly, I've been meaning to ask you, bricks and Star Wars. How do you feel about it?
Oh my god, we're not even gonna talk about it. We're not gonna go there, Brian.
No comment. I don't want to get attacked.
Not gonna go there.
Brian, what about you?
Be Volcano on Twitter and Instagram. Yeah. There's some crazy crap probably in Colorado she can go explore.
Go to the Stanley Hotel. Do it.
Oh yeah. Apocalypse movies. Can I say what we're doing tomorrow, or do you want to say it?
No, go ahead.
We're talking Andor. Yay!
Thank you for being so
Speaking of
excited.
bricks,
Thank you for being so excited, Brian.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I watched Nightcrawler.
Sure did.
I
literally cannot wait to hear his thoughts on that.
I finished it like 20 minutes before the show started.
Love it.
Because I wait till
Jill, what about you?
Jilly Marie, 2 I's, 2 E's, Twitter and Instagram. Pew pew pew.
Qui-Gon Jake, 2 N's, because someone else took it before I did. Twitter and Instagram. You can find us on Twitter, a certain POV crew, as well as TikTok. Go follow us on TikTok. We got some really cool stuff coming out. Right now, it's more so clips of the shows, but we're gonna have some original stuff coming out, TikTok related, very very soon. And then, as always, check out that Patreon, everybody. It's a lot of fun. We just did our Planes, Trains, and Automobiles watch along last night, which that movie is hilarious. I had never seen it before. Bar Trivia, which is a monthly thing. We did Incredibles last month. Jill lost, which, bummer.
There's no syndrome questions I want to recount.
And then, of course, here every Monday, 6 o'clock Pacific, right here, talking apparently conspiracy theories, documentaries, weird shit all the time. And people follow us.
Police are coming for me for my moon comment.
Yeah, they
heard you talking about their
it's Buzz Aldrin. He's about to come up to your front door and punch you square in the nose.
As always, everybody, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.